Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Maddles and you're watching a StarCraft 2 England cast. So guys, this is game 1 of a best of 3. It is between 80's Toto, who is the blue Terran player in the lower left, and he's up against TSLSymbol, the red Zerg in the top right. It is from the Zotac Cup, and as I said, game 1 of 3, so this should be absolutely awesome. Obviously, Symbol is an absolutely amazing player. Those of you who follow the scene should know of him. Toto, also very good. Obviously going through to one of the later rounds of the Zotac Cup isn't a easy feat, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these two play. The map Daybreak. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. Daybreak is an absolutely brilliant map. You do have the supply depot at the ram. That's, well, good on its own because it means that you can't get blocked off by pylons or anything like that. It's just, again, a tournament thing. It doesn't really matter in TVZ, but if there's a Protoss here, then that can be a nice little thing. Obviously, the map itself, it's a two-player map, but the rush distance is actually huge. You have to come, like, all the way around here, and that is actually a long way to go. So that means that early aggression isn't too easy. There's no, like, cheese builds that really work too well on here. So, again, I reckon we'll see Symbol go for the 15 hatch, 16 pool opening, which pretty much is the most common thing you'll see against Terran as a Zerg. Meanwhile, Toto, he's probably going to go for a 1-Rax command center, at least I hope he does. It's my personal favourite opening that a Terran can do against Zerg. I think it's so versatile. It also gives you great mid-game economy, and it's pretty safe as well, so it's not too risky. And because of all those things, I think it's very, very good, and obviously you can then transition into Hellions, but we're not going to see a 1-Rax command center purely because, well, we do have this refinery coming down, and I mean, if it is a 1-Rax command center, you won't have a refinery. You won't get any gas. You'll just get the barracks and then the command center, which is pretty standard. Looking up at Symbol's base, he has gone for that 15 hatch, just as I thought he would. He's now up to 16 supplies, so once he hits 200 minerals, we should see very, very quickly a spawning pool go down. There we go, bang on. There, everything perfect. Now, obviously, we do have the orbital command in production. We should see, well, only 2 SCVs on gas. That, again, maybe a misclick, but it could just be a very, very interesting timing or something like that, but we'll wait and see exactly what does go down. Meanwhile, we do have the hatchery nearly completed. It's 2/3 done. We do have the spawning pool about 1/3 done. That is all pretty good, everything standard. Now, let me just use this moment to say, I've actually got a reactor coming down on that barracks. That's quite interesting. Probably not going to be Hellions because you usually see the factory then the reactor come down, but we'll wait and see exactly what does come out. But what I was going to say is, those of you who watch my stream regularly, or my casting rather, will see that I've changed my Twitter tag to @MaddlesSC2. That's because I've just got back from Insomnia 46, and, well, basically, SC2 England is the name of my channel, not my personal ID. My personal ID is Maddles, or Adam. So that is why I have changed that. So make sure you're following, because I'm doing a giveaway. I've just done a giveaway probably when I've released this video for a Mad Catz headset, gaming headset, which is absolutely awesome. There goes down the factory, the command center coming down as well. So bit of an interesting build out of Toto right now. I'll be interested to see how it works out and how Symbol deals with it. Also, forgot to mention, if you like this video or any of my casts, please do give it a thumbs up, because obviously that'd be super helpful, and leave a comment and obviously subscribe. That'd be great if you guys could do that. Now, I'm just having a quick look at what's going on. The Marines are out there getting ready to snipe off any Overlord. The Overlord is actually at this side for Symbol, which is quite interesting because you tend to see Overlords come over here. You can also try and sneak one around the back there. That's quite a cool place to put an Overlord. Looking here though, we do have the factory about to finish up. We should then see a switch, and there's going to be a lot of Marines out actually. Toto does have that command center on its way. Only now does actually have 3 SCVs and gas, so that's more normal. The spine cooler coming down here for Symbol as well. He's got the 2 queens. He's got 2 more in production. I love that because I think getting the queens purely for creep spread is absolutely essential. Not only are queens very good for early defense, the creep gives you an early warning system, but also going into the mid and late game, having those extra queens mean they will have energy banked up for a transfuse, and you never know when a transfuse is going to come in helpful. Now, we do have, well, the factory putting out those Hellions 2 at a time, and now the starport coming in, so we could actually see a Hellion drop. That would be quite interesting to see how that would play out. But obviously Symbol has very, very good reaction speeds, but he doesn't actually have any units on the field yet as far as I'm aware. He literally has 2 Zerglings, that is it. So a drop would actually bypass these queens at the front. Now 2 more queens coming out, so there's going to be a lot of queens here. Symbol doing some very, very interesting builds. This is very similar to Spinici's Ice Fisher build, where essentially you get no gas and just get lots of queens and drones, and it works very effectively, I must say. Now, we do have this one drone moving out. Interesting to see what that's going to do. Is going to go and build a macro hatch. A good move in my opinion, because the third can be a little bit difficult to defend against Terran as a Zerg, purely because you've got this very wide open area. Now, the first two Hellions are on their way across. The starport is finished, the first medevac coming out. So the other option is not dropping the Hellions, but rather using the Hellions for harassment at the front, meanwhile dropping in the back. That is another possibility, and since the Marines have been picked up, I think that's what we will be seeing. That Overlord will not have seen the medevac. Another Overlord is going to suicide in, but will pick up everything. We'll see the tech lab, we'll see the starport, and that is very, very useful indeed. There goes the switch, so obviously the tech lab being used for siege tanks. Meanwhile, this drop's still on its way over, the Hellions still sitting there. The Queen will see the medevac, or at least should do, and it'll be interesting to see how Symbol does react to this, because at the moment, he is purely just building those drones. The Spore Crawler is on its way out. Now the Hellions, well, they're going to have to come back to try and deal with some of this. And now we do have a Spine Crawler moving back, all the Queens moving back. That's going to allow the Hellions to move in the front, and this is a really good play by Toto. Absolutely love it. How much damage can he do, though? Just have to be careful. All the Queens have come back, but now this is the real problem, is these Hellions in the natural, and this is going to take very, very quick reactions. All the Marines do get away absolutely fine, and, well, just look at the amount of damage being done here, and there's nothing sitting back there to defend. The drop will probably come back in, and if we look at the loss tab, 700 resources to 0. This is incredibly good play by Toto, and well, just look at the amount of damage being done so far. This drop coming back in now. More drones are going to come in, go down. Basically, massive oversaturation here. More drones getting picked off literally everywhere. Those Hellions coming in as well now. And all of the drones have lined up. That can do absolutely massive damage. Those Hellions are absolutely devastating Symbol right now. And he is taking really big damage literally everywhere. If you look at the work count, 32 to 38. So, not too bad, except for the fact that when you look at the fact that 27 workers have been killed. If you read that correctly, 27 workers killed this early in the game, yet still Symbol has 34, so he's doing pretty good. He was droning really hard, that was the point of his build, but he took massive damage. And if we look at the resources lost 1700 compared to 1200, so obviously that is a big advantage for Toto right now, who is getting up, well, he's got up his third command center, getting 2 more barracks, is getting a tech lab. That starport has no add-ons yet, so I'll be interested to see if there's a switch there. The tanks are coming out. The first tank already is done. The 1-1 upgrades coming out for infantry. Meanwhile, up at Symbol's base, he is getting out that +1. No, sorry, +1 upgrades, literally just starting. I saw the evolution chambers finish, and he's also about to finish up with speed. The creep spread's good, the macro hatch will help him massively, but a missed rally point here. This is not good in the slightest, and really out of character for Symbol. He is such a good player to make well, massive mistakes such as that, and leaving those drones inactive is a big problem. We do have a lair coming down now, quite a late lair at the 10-minute mark, but because of his build, it's at the correct time. Still hasn't noticed these drones just sitting there, and you do not want that. That's going to affect your income. If we look at the income, nearly, well, probably about 700 more minerals a minute being mined by Toto, and gas income is pretty equal. Those Zerglings were taken out pretty aggressively. The third base on its way down there for Toto as well, so he's in a good spot. The 1-1 upgrades are about half done. Stim is about a quarter done. And just looking around, well, we've got the reactor now on the starport, more tech labs coming down on the barracks, we've got combat shield on its way, so tank marine is going to be upgrade of choice. But just look at this, Symbol getting those extra queens out early. Look at the creep spread. It is absolutely sick. Look at the number of creep tumors. It's insane. The Viking, though, that's going to come and pick off any overlords on the field, which I'm fairly sure there are many of. There is one up there, and that is pretty much it. So we'll wait and see if anything else does come from it. But, I mean, that Viking already taking big damage. Nearly goes down, 8 HP remaining. That is not big in the slightest. And, well, we've got the Baning Nest, the 1-1 upgrades nearly finished for Symbol as well. 1-1 very close to, well, +1 infantry weapons already finished, +1 infantry armor about to finish for Toto. He has got that armory about to finish as well, so should see 2-2 shortly. And, well, he's getting everything he needs. The infestation pit on its way down for Symbol as well now. Symbol is taking his third and fourth, so double expanding. I think that's a good move, because he would have seen the third base of Toto and know essentially he is behind in terms of income heavily, and he's also behind in terms of bases, which is never where you want to be. You generally want to be a base up as Zerg. 61 to 64 workers. When you factor mules in, look at the effect that is having. Almost 1,000 more minerals being mined a minute by Toto, and he is of course getting more gas income as well, especially now he's got the 6th gas already on its way in. And I mean, I just don't see how Symbol is going to recover from this, because the income is just so high for Toto. It's going to take some really brilliant play. The 2-2 upgrades coming out for both players now as well, pretty equal timing. Pathogen Glands is on its way for Symbol. He's also getting the Baning speed, and essentially he needs to engage incredibly cost effectively, and for the moment his creep spread is really fantastic. That's the one part of his play I'd say is absolutely godlike. Look at it, it's just halfway across the map already. He's basically spreading creep across every possible avenue. These Marines trying to prevent it because, I mean, look at the map vision. That is what the map looks like to Symbol compared to Toto, who you can see that vision difference is huge. But we'll see if that does affect things later. The third base is up and the fourth base just finished. Queenswood, all of them. We do have a drop coming down from Toto here, but obviously Symbol is there with the instant reactions. We do have more Marines sitting there as well. And judging by the tank movements, it looks like this fourth base is going to float straight down, get the Rich Vespian Geyser. But this fourth base of Toto, fourth base of Symbol rather, is going to, well, potentially go down, but not now because the lift was forced by the Zerglings reacting very, very quickly. That one Viking still patrolling around trying to see what it can find. Hive is on the way. Will be interesting to see whether an Ultralisk Cavern is thrown down or whether a Spire is thrown down imminently. But if it isn't, it will definitely be Ultras, which is a good choice because, in my opinion, Ultras, as long as you've got the Infestor numbers there in order to fungal growth and therefore keep the Marines still and in a ball, if the Infestors can get in range and deal massive damage, this drop is not going to be effective right now. All of those Zerglings will instantly take out the Marines as they come out of the medevac. We do have a drop simultaneously going on down in the fourth, which will need to be picked up because, frankly, there's just too much stuff here. It will not now get away because the fungal growth went down. We'll probably see some chain fungals. We do have the medevac on its way back. Chain fungal's not actually being utilised. One more would have allowed that to die with the queen there. We do now have a factory with another tech lab on its way down. That'll allow for a lot of higher tank production, which is a bit low at the moment, only at the 6 mark. Obviously, Toto is getting near maxed out, so his composition will become very, very important. And, well, the Hive is nearly done for Symbol, so essentially it's definitely going to be Ultras as his quick tech choice. We do have a Planetary Fortress morphing in the middle that will give great defense. That one Viking poking and prodding around and being irritating, but this creep spread is brilliant. The scan goes off, but there's just so many creep tuners everywhere. Zerglings coming in, sees the tanks are on siege, and obviously the Infestors are there as well. Big fungal growth goes off now, and obviously that deals big damage for the Marines. They're very, very low health now. That got so many Marines. The double Spire on its way. I'm interested, well, actually quite surprised Ultras weren't the choice because those Spires should have been started earlier. Should that be the strategy that Symbol wanted, because now he's got a lot of downtime where he's not able to tech up into tier 3, which is what he really needs. The Broodlords will be out there in double air upgrades as well. We do have a lot of Banelings morphing in around the back here. Or no, actually they're not. Where are these Banelings morphing? The Banelings are morphing outside the third. But meanwhile, we've got a big counter attack coming in. There's just, well, the Planetary Fortress is there, so that fourth base will not go down. The tanks are on siege but not following. A bit of indecision, in my opinion, on what is going to be going on there. The Infestors running away, the Zerglings run by, doing some damage, but look at the Banelings, they're coming in. Do the Zerglings get us around? Yes, they will. No, actually, they don't. An amazing pickup right there by Toto, who's just playing absolutely magnificently. Meanwhile, he's counter-pushing the fourth base, the Bailing hits go off and kill an awful lot of Marines. If we look at the APM, Moment Symbol apparently doing 600 APM. That is absolutely crazy. That's absolutely sick, actually, compared to, well, the APM difference is huge in itself. So very, very good by Symbol there. But still, I feel if we look at the lost tab, Symbol is definitely coming back into this game. And once these Broodlords come out, it's going to be a much different story. The 3-3 upgrades have been started for both players. Obviously, Toto's upgrades are ahead. Adrenal Glands coming down. So is the +1 Flyer Carapace, just to give those Broodlords a bit more lasting time. We've got a massive Zergling counter-attack coming in here. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of Marines poking around, but no drops can go down because of, obviously, those Zerglings sitting there ready to defend. But the fourth base is a vulnerability, and that is exactly what Toto is going to exploit. But this little reinforcement group gets taken down very quickly indeed. That's a good little win there. The fourth base was killed. Obviously, these tanks are sitting there behind. Need to be careful how he engages them. Burrowed Infestors are the correct way, though. Infested Terrans dropping down literally everything right now, and those tanks are going to kill themselves, and that is not fun. That is really quite annoying for Toto, but great play by Symbol right now, who actually seems to be in an okay spot. He's picked off an awful lot of stuff. He is now ready to start morphing in Broodlords if he hasn't already. There are no Broodlords on the field, but the Greater Spire is finished. If we take a look down here, that medevac is going to go down. Any drop will go down as well. But Toto just has such insane production. Just look at all of these unit producing structures. There's a hideous number of them. And essentially 3-3 is going to be done, at which point Marines become stupidly good. Broodlords are morphing in, though. That's going to force the tanks to one siege if there is any head-on engagements. And we very, very quickly reaching the point where both players are getting that Death Ball army, and they don't really want to be engaging unless they feel they have got the upper hand. And that, in my opinion, is what makes the massive difference between a good player and a great player, is knowing when to engage and when to really pull back and be like, no, that isn't the exact angle I want. This isn't the best I could do with this force. And it all comes down to being cost effective. Remember, late game, I mean, 2,000 more resources lost for Toto compared to Symbol at the moment. Late game is all about getting your own expansions and preventing your opponent from getting expansions, and as long as you do that well, you can engage less cost effectively. But if you do that well while engaging cost effectively, you're definitely going to win the game. And this is exactly what we're seeing here by Symbol. He's doing a pretty good job of expanding himself, but not a great job of managing Toto's expansions, who of course is taking a 5th base now at the top. We do have these Broodlords shelling their way away, but a lot of Marines are there. A quick stim for those infestors need to get a fungal growth off, otherwise those Broodlords will go down exceptionally quickly. We do have a handful of Marines at the bottom of the map, but reinforcements are coming in. The Broodlords will make or break this match right now. The Viking production is only at 2. There are no Vikings on the field, but the 5th base, that's going to be a pain. The scan goes off because there was a burrowed Zergling there. Again, another great move. We do have a double drop geared up with, of course, a tank there as well, but where will that go down? We'll wait and see. Here's a good vulnerable spot because obviously those Zerglings aren't there. The rest of these Marines are getting picked off, and Burrow Banelings! That was so close to those Burrow Banelings. That literally would have made my day right there, because everyone should hopefully now know I like nothing more than Burrow Banelings. Like, if I had my choice, I'd just sit here and watch them and wait patiently for the moment that they detonate on top of a group of Marines. And it's the Banelings! Oh my god, seriously, Banelings, go! Oh, I get so happy when I see that. And then when they don't go off, there's Banelings everywhere. Oh, okay, be calm. I can't just talk about the Banelings, but that's beside the point. Let's just have a look what's going on. We do have another drop. This 5th base for Symbol is going to get pretty much taken down fast and fast. The drones are there as well, so we could see some big worker kills coming down. The Marines are the Marines. The Marines killing everything. A big reaction actually out of Symbol, which could cost him, because there's a good position here by Toto, who is going to just drop apparently everything into the main. Like, legitimately, this is nearly his entire army is just going into the main, and this is going to be hard to defend. Obviously, that single spore call is going to be very, very annoying, but look at all this stuff. The tank will probably siege up. The Vikings are doing a good job against the Corruptors, but the Broodlords, once they come in, they're going to wreck this. The Vikings get taken down incredibly quickly, and while a lot of damage is being done, I mean, there's the drop, which was cleared up down at the 5th base, and essentially this is not fun in the slightest. Look at all the Burrow Banelings. Why don't you detonate them? Seriously, I can't bear not seeing Banelings detonate. It makes me sad, but you know, we've got a big push coming in here by Symbol, who really, Symbol is cleaning this up very, very effective. And if we look at the loss tab, this is getting so far ahead in terms of the resources lost that the fact that the income is in Toto's advantage won't actually make up for that, in my opinion. Now, we do have reinforcements being taken down. Banelings going down on Marauders, which is less than perfect. So many Queens. The transfuse went to go off there, but wasn't quite in time. But this is exactly what I was saying. Getting loads of Queens is fine, because you just get to the mid-game and you transfuse. Please transfuse that poor Queen. None the matter. We do have Marines actually doing huge damage to all of those Corruptors. That's going to really help Toto, actually, because that means that his Vikings will be more potent, obviously, against the Broodlords, since they won't be killed as quickly. But not much key tech was actually taken out, as far as I can see. The spawning pool's still up, the hive's still up, the 2 spires still up, the infestation pit. So everything that Symbol needs was alive. He's getting those old Hydralisks, actually, and that's an interesting tech switch. I mean, that is fine as long as your opponent doesn't have many tanks, which, well, there's only 2 on the field, so that's okay. The Hydras in small numbers can be quite interesting to use, so I'll see how Symbol does go for that. But we're getting into super late game now. Obviously, the Thors will help against the air. They do have splash damage, but they don't do bonus damage to Broodlords, which are, of course, armored, which doesn't help quite as much. Planetary Fortress and another command center being built, one already built. I mean, there's literally just command centers going down everywhere. Toto trying to take all of the map if he can, because if he's got the base, that's a base that Symbol does, and he's also got an awful lot of bank, so needs to be spending that somehow. His gas incredibly high as well, and that's going to be annoying in itself. These Banelings, seriously, they're just sitting there tempting me. There's Banelings, there was another Baneling somewhere. Where's that Baneling gone? Oh, it's up there. I thought it was down, I was like, detonate, but no, unfortunately not. Toto is just going to stay alive. Symbol teasing me with the pleasure I receive out of seeing a Burrow Baneling detonate. Look, they're just not quite going to the right spot, but that's fine. We will wait. I'll be patient, and I'll pray that those Banelings do detonate on top of a big group of Marines. Not because I have anything against Toto or want Symbol to win, just because I love Burrow Banelings. I literally love them. But we've got a big engagement coming down here. That infested control not great, coming very, very far forward. We do have a good farm both off though, and it looks like Symbol's cleaning this up very easily indeed. But there are these Vikings coming in. The Crofters are there in small numbers, and now should be able to manage with it. This base is gone very, very quickly. And, well, the Vikings, they're getting cleaned up. The Symbol has suddenly got an awful lot of momentum. If we look at the army supply, 120 to effectively 90 for Toto. And, well, and it's only good news for Symbol right now, who can essentially try and do some damage. Now, I love this choice. Toto basically realizing the fact that he's lost a lot right now, and he's not in a great spot. Going to go for a drop. That will allow him to hopefully draw back some of Symbol's army in order to buy him some time to remax. We do have Ultras coming out as well. The Ultra armor upgrade that Shaggy is plating. Essentially, that's going to be a good little tech switch, especially if Toto overcommits to those Vikings in order to deal with the Broodlords. But to be honest, this force from Symbol just has such momentum right now. There is that double drop coming down in the main, but to be honest, with so much stuff, I don't see how Toto can actually come back, because while he does have good income, he spent all of his minerals, he has a lot of gas. Symbol still has a bank, he has a silly amount of Broodlords, 12 Broodlords on the field. He's now going to be able to just really steamroll through all of the production capability of Toto. Failings coming in everywhere. We do have all of the key tech getting taken out here by Toto, so if he somehow holds without taking too much damage, it should be fine. But to be honest, I think this is going to go to Symbol. He just has too much stuff, basically. And there's the GG from Toto. And that, guys, was game one. That was pretty hectic. It was a massive macro game. So if you did enjoy, please thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, like the video, and what else? No, that's pretty much it. Flick over to my channel and see you at game 2 in a second. I'm Maddles. You just watched a StarCraft 2 England cast.